This election is going to have outcomes. It doesn't matter who wins the election.
Effects,
It doesn't matter whether it's Kennedy, Biden, or Trump. There's still going to be chaos, and there's no way around it. I from how I can see it. But I want your take on that, and then I want to spin that into more just a broad-based economic view of where we're at and how people can get ready for this, and then we'll take that on to the debt talk.
So I think that on a political landscape, we're definitely more divided than we ever have been as a country. And that has caused the citizens in general, as a population, we're focused on some things that don't directly affect us, or they don't matter as much in the greater schemes of things, right? So like, you can take something that we can't see, for an example. I know, like, you always talk about I want a gas guzzling car, right? We can't see global warming, right? But we say, okay, this is affecting us, this is affecting us, this is affecting us. We have a health crisis that's affecting us when it comes to like sugar diabetes, high blood pressure, all these other things. There's so many things that's affecting us directly, and especially inflation, right? So whether you're sick or not sick, or need medicine, don't need medicine, everybody needs food, everybody needs water, and we have the price of things rising drastically in comparison to our purchasing power and our availability to be able to buy things.
But Robert, if people watch the headline news, all they're hearing is, the Fed is winning the battle on inflation. Inflation's at 3.4. They're winning. But yet when you go to the grocery store, the gas pump, or to buy anything, it doesn't feel like we're winning. Like what gives?
Man, the thing about it is that the CPI is kind of like the CPI is what it is. What the Fed does inside of their data is they're taking and replacing different things in and out of the CPI. So if they see the price of something rise drastically, like steaks or whatever the case is, they'll simply just say, well, a lot of Americans aren't eating steak anymore. So they don't count those prices. And so we don't see the real price rises on the different things we're purchasing. And in real inflationary terms, it's probably double what's being broadcast in terms of the inflation that's actually inside the system. And then it has a lagging effect. So it's kind of like a bullwhip. So the people that are closest to the center benefit the most, right? So what happens when a bill gets passed and so on and so forth? You only hear about it like, hey, billions of dollars going to this country over here, billions of dollars going to that country over there. We're funding this, we're funding that, we're doing this and that and third. But how does that actually affect you? So there's very few instances where people have had inflation directly affect them immediately. And that could be like a stimulus check. What we saw back when Trump was in office. And what did we see right after that? We saw drastic inflation. I mean, it didn't take time. The ripple effect wasn't there. It kind of happened immediately right after, because we had inflation pumped directly into the hands of each individual person. And so I think what we're going to see is after the election, no matter which side really wins, like I said, we're not focused on the right things as a population of people. And so either way it goes, we don't know how to hold our leadership accountable for the right things. As long as they say the right things and they talk about the topics that we think matters, we're not going to ever be able to all focus in on one major thing, which affects us all. And that's the monetary system. And when the money goes bad, people go bad, things go bad because hunger and thirst drive a lot of emotion. And so, like I said, with that being said, I think that leading up to the election, we'll have a market rise. I'm historically looking back, it's crazy. I just made the comment earlier today on Twitter. I've never seen, X now. I've never seen an election year where the markets went down.
No, especially when it's a president running for their second term. We actually just did a YouTube video on this, and we went back 5 presidents. And we looked at exactly what you just said as to whether or not the market, how did the markets, specifically the S&P 500, how does it perform right before an election? And you're absolutely right. In every one of those 5 elections, especially if it's a president running for a second term, the market rallied. But then it was followed by a steep decline in the market right after the election.